Hello and welcome back. Andrew's in sandy tones today, which is rare.
It's rare.
It's a rare palette.
Treat you all to a
January.
Sandrew Kerwin.
Exactly. This is very upbeat from you.
Yeah, I thought let's bring some positivity in 2025.
Yeah,
I'll put my sandy trousers on.
It's January.
For those of you listening to the podcast, I'm wearing sandy trousers.
Yeah. Charlie says this is the happiest he's been all year.
Yeah.
Comparatively, he's been so unhappy it doesn't really mean much.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sort of
a broken
tallest
clock
dwarf
is right twice
syndrome.
a day. You had a Charlie Bingham the other day.
I did with Charlie Bingham. I used my Tesco's club cards to... Well, I think they should do more offers with Charlie Bingham because they're quite stingy across all supermarkets with taking the price down. It's the first time I saw Charlie Bingham lower their price.
Price gouged.
Well, no, it's more like you should try and get people in with lots of deals on Charlie Bingham so they can get addicted to Charlie Bingham. So when they hike the prices back up.
What Charlie Bingham did you have?
I had the tikka masala for one, and then
For one?
BB had the lasagna for one.
Whenever I have it, I have the tikka masala for two.
Just on your own?
Just on my own.
Wow.
Fuck it. It's not that you don't get that much sauce. You get too much rice, so you don't have to have all the rice, but you get plenty of sauce. It's unnecessary expenditure, but it's great. It is the best. The more and more I go and have a bit of Bingham, the more I realise it's you can't really beat him. For a pre-night out meal, that's what I had before on New Year's Eve. Charlie Bingham tikka masala for two, sorted for the night. Yeah.
Well, what I think is amazing about the Charlie Bingham is it's mass produced, but how does he make it feel like it's built with such love? Like it feels like there's a lot of care.
Well, the man's including foil to wrap your rice around in the oven. Yeah. There's care, there's dedication, there's detail.
And it's the bamboo little pot thing. Is it bamboo? It wouldn't be bamboo because it's
a form of wood.
Yeah, it's like a light wood, which really implies it feels like he has made every single one.
Yeah,
it feels like every single one's going to be slightly different. Yeah, it depends how Charlie's feeling.
He caters it to your personalised taste. Oh, you like a bit more sweetness in there.
No,
you ever had a Charlie Bingham?
Yeah, I stick exclusively to the fish pie, the creamy fish pie.
Yeah, I thought so. It doesn't surprise me at all. You are Mr. Fish Pie.
He's always one foot off the pace, isn't he? Always just a bit odd.
Have you had many fish pies?
I don't like fish pie.
I don't like fish pie.
It's the best one, in my opinion.
The best one?
I do kind of resent how expensive they are, but obviously...
It comes with
it's high quality.
He's paying his workers. Well, he doesn't have any workers. It's
just Charlie.
Him in the kitchen.
Chefing it up.
It's quite the marker.
But I tried to steal a Charlie Bingham fish pie and a steak bake, and then an undercover op from the shop came and... accosted me at the self-checkout, and he just hit me with the most kind of quiet handhold, but it was like, I'm not going anywhere. And then they took me to this back room, and a man from the shop, I was quite a local in there. I used to go every day around because it was near where I was working.
Yeah.
Did
And
you take a photo of you?
They took a mugshot of me with my steak bake, and then a guy from the shop floor was like, walked past and went, I can't believe it. Like, you're a good customer. Like, I believed in you. And I'm like, oh,
I believed in you.
Yeah, like really laying on quite thick.
Some Sainsbury's workers are really.
But I think the idea is that if they lose enough money, then maybe that shop gets closed down. So it's not just they're not defending the chain; they're defending themselves.
Well, I wonder because I think it's so easy to shoplift from any of these stores. Yeah, it feels like it was enough of a financial burden they'd pay someone to really work on that.
Yeah. It was very shameful.
I think I'd be able to stop it if I.
No, you always think you would.
If I was inspired to.
Come on then. What would you do?
Well, my whole job would be looking at self-service checkout.
So what's?
How are you
different from a security guard?
They're always doing other shit. I'm always stealing stuff.
They're wandering about.
Yeah, they because they're doing a job. It's like Charlie, They're not necessarily going to be good at a job just because
they're just trying to get by.
A lot of our solutions are you need to pay one man £100,000 a year, and then it will sort it
or
out.
pay me £100,000 a year, and I'll do that one.
What
job.
was the other one for farming?
It was checking if someone's a farmer or using it for tax purposes. Yeah, and I would definitely work it out.
I suppose so. So we need one of you in each branch.
That's quite a good setup for a film as well. Is the family trying to pretend they're farmers?
Yeah,
the guy's there for 24 hours.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
With regards to shoplifting, do you guys shoplift?
We've dabbled. We had our dark days.
Yeah.
At university, I used to steal sandwiches every day because they were ridiculously priced at the university library. It was like £5 for a sandwich, which I just refused to, given the tuition fees. Yeah. I'm not doing it. And they had an awful setup where there was like 2 stations where you could buy stuff from. And then there was like seating in the middle and then doors on either side. So we just walk in one side, grab the sandwich, then walk out of the other door.
If you worked at a shop like this for little money, how much would you care? Because I guess at one point it becomes a personal affront when you see this cunt coming in.
Were they a security guard that caught you? Or
it was kind of, no, it was a sort of in-house security.
Security.
Security, what else are you there for?
Yeah, if one person sticks, otherwise what the fuck am I there for?
Citizen's arrest.
That just keeps you interested in the job.
Yeah.
If I'm like in the tills, I'd think zero amount.
But if you're a manager, then
if I'm a manager, then I have responsibility.
You have responsibility over the branch.
The local branch is my
Because what's stopping them buying out? The business collapses and
take some pride in your work.
A Subway.
You can't have miscreants come in and steal ham rolls all the time. What's a ham roll? Never heard of.
So I guess a lot of it. I guess just because stealing is a sin on a broader sense morally.
Good.
But I think I'm
glad someone said.
But I think fundamentally, why you shouldn't shoplift is that the people there. It's disrespectful to them trying to take pride in their work.
Yeah, I suppose
it undermines their work.
Does it though? I don't think so. If I'm stacking shelves at Sainsbury's, and then you come in and you're nicking a cheese slice every now. Why am I saying things that don't exist? You come in and you nick a bacon roll. Every fortnight.
Yeah.
I can still take pride in my work.
Yeah, but you're probably you're in your early 20s. I imagine this character you've created.
right. It's a very bold, different character.
Yeah, and you listen to loud music while you're stacking shelves.
Donk.
You're going out to the discotheque every weekend. You don't care. This is just a bit of extra money, probably for drugs, but you're having fun. It's not like in a bad way.
Yeah,
it's like you're a young person. So I'm not going to be in this job. What do I want to do? I don't know, man. I don't care. Like I'll sort something out. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Right now, I'm just enjoying myself. So you're just doing that job. Obviously, you're not going to care that much. But 10 years later, right, the dreams have faded. Because you were so often at the discotheque taking drugs, you didn't.
I lost sight of my career.
You didn't curate a dream for yourself, and now you worked there so long.
Yeah.
Now I think it is an insult to your work.
Yeah.
So you've moved on from being that kind of.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
I suppose so. But at the same time, I could still be despondent in my career and hate stacking shelves.
Sort of like Jim from The Office.
Pretty much. I'm like looking at the camera like, hey, you go out and you've got some bacon sarnies in there. I'm going, hey, it's another Monday.
But maybe what if Sainsbury's have kind of got an in-house kind of motto where it's like if you steal from the shop, you're stealing from every single one of us. Like they might actually, it might be
in Latin.
What was the question again?
So
say the question.
So
what happens if Sainsbury's have an in-house
maybe they've instilled an attitude.
I don't know, Charlie.
They've instilled an attitude where it's like if they steal a steak bake from the shop, they're stealing a steak bake from every single one of you.
So that's manipulative from the corporation.
No, but it's a team attitude. It's team spirit, and it's also
is it manipulative?
I think it is manipulative.
It's all banding together. And let's run this Sainsbury's in Dalston to the best of our ability.
But that's coming from top down, from the big fat cat.
It's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie, and it's the fat cat doesn't want to lose his profit margin by tricking you into thinking you have more investment in the company than you actually do.
Yeah.
Oh well, can I have more days holiday? No, back to work.
Stop the thieves.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Hey, it's a really tough issue, and we've covered it excellently. Do you want to get on this fucking ad? Horatio's pissed off at an advert.
I'm not pissed off.
He's furious at this Christmas advert. He sent me
It made me laugh.
He sent me raving
right,
texts
go to the other one. I didn't.
We'll get it up. I'll describe it for the people at home. It's a koala. It's the Cashel or Cashel. I think it's Cashel.
Is it painted?
It looks to be painted.
Yeah, it's painted. I've seen it.
Isn't that like printed? They're not painted.
I watched it being painted.
I think it's painted. Well, at least it looks. They surely like paint.
I think printed anyway. It's a Cashel advert. So
it's huge.
You've got the Cashel koala. It's massive. It's on the side of a building in the street, and it's a koala holding up some bog roll to Santa, who is on the toilet, pants, trousers, nothing. You can't see any skin. Just FYI, but his trousers are loosely pulled down.
I didn't like how little they were pulled down. Partly,
you thinking he's pooing on the trousers?
It's just weird. I don't know. It just made me feel weird.
It's like, are you going through shit?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Let me just finish describing it. We'll analyse it after we've described it. And then there's like a Yuletide shit in the background, and the tagline is "Everyone deserves a bit of me time."
Yeah.
Now, go on. What's your problem?
It's not okay. I just thought it was a bit odd. I think it's too big. And every time I pass it, it's just like it always jars me out a little bit, which is probably part of the branding. I don't like how excited he is.
He does. He looks a bit like the man that's gone to the toilet and didn't realise there wasn't any toilet paper, and this koala was just come to save him.
But that's not the expression you'd have when someone saves you.
Well, if a koala handed me a piece of toilet paper,
no, you would. Yeah, exactly. But I think if you forgot toilet roll and a koala gets you toilet roll, you'd more have a grateful expression, not a sort of horny expression.
Hey, it's painted. It's not the best.
It's very well painted.
But
it's purposely done. These are choices.
Yeah.
The artist could have definitely done a better expression. And I just, it's just a bit.
Is it the facial expression that you don't like?
It's the whole thing. What do you think, Charlie?
Would you prefer it if Santa had his eyes closed?
No.
What is it?
Then he's far too into his own shit.
I don't like that. My least favorite element is the kind of left hand, like the sort of way that the wrinkle...
It's in his pocket, is it?
No, it's like on his thigh. And
that's his hand.
His sort of rancid ass is behind that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the reason why the trousers are so high up is because they can't show anything too much.
Yeah, they can't show knob.
But then it just makes it a bit weird. Like he's being weirdly frigid.
I like it. I mean,
it's an effective ad for
it's
sure.
Also, the older I get, the more I realise that going to the toilet is a bit of me time. Particularly when going over Christmas, but at work when you need the toilet, it's like shit. This is actually a break.
What's that thick of it joke that Chris Langham's character does about like?
Oh Christ!
It's like he has one joke about him going for a shit is the only time.
Yeah.
The only bit of his day that he enjoys.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I saw that joke first when I was 15, and every year it becomes
more true. So honestly, the best gift you can get for Christmas is toilet paper to have a bit of me time. I bat the advert, and I see that being me in a few years. It's not that.
Which one?
Samsung. Okay. I'm not handing fat men toilet paper whilst they're shitting. I don't hope to be there in a few years' time. But peaceful on the toilet, having a quick, deuce.
To be fair, yeah, I probably would get a Cushelle if I saw it. It's an effective advertising.
Do you ever buy... sorry.
Go on.
We're fucking smiling again. Do you ever buy specific toilet paper brands, or is it just the cheapest one you see?
It's the cheap... Well, I'm thinking about upgrading, but because I only ever get toilet roll from Offies, they're always so hiked up.
It's kind of weird.
What was it? Is it weird?
It's just a weird thing to do.
That's not weird.
That implies you're always in like an emergency. That implies every time you get toilet paper, you're running to the shop holding a bum with like a squatted position going, give me more!
The reason if I'm doing a food shop, I'm rarely wanting to carry... it needs to be within 2 minutes.
One of our gripes previously has been having to carry toilet paper back from the shop, and that's absolutely true. I see it all the time, and I'm like, that's fucking embarrassing.
I'm considering signing up for that that one that they post it in.
Girls who gives a crap.
Girls who smell nice have it in their houses.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap?
Why would you sign up for that?
Because I imagine it's actually not that expensive.
I don't care about the quality of toilet paper.
I think it's better.
But you're not doing it for like environmental reasons, are you? You're doing it for bum comfort. Now, for me, I could not give a fuck. On the list of things, like life things that you could spend money on or spend a bit more money on for a better life, toilet paper is at the fucking bottom.
So you're getting the cheapest
I do it with cardboard if necessary. Fucking chuck me any material whatsoever. The job's getting done.
We do actually have sandpaper here.
Yeah, well, sandpaper is like that. That's kind of sexual. It's like darkly, some sort of flagellation.
Everyone deserves a bit of me time.
Charlie's got his hand up.
I haven't bought toilet paper in about a year and a half. My friend's mum buys all of our toilet paper for some reason.
Right.
For some reason.
We don't know. She's just out of a kindness. It's a kindness. But I haven't bought toilet paper in such a long time. I'm not even familiar with any of the brands.
Some questions. Where does your friend's mum live in regards to you guys?
She lives
She's
Bromley.
not delivering them by hand, is she?
No, I think they're delivered.
Is it through one of these like
such roundabout way of asking questions?
Is it
it's lovely toilet paper.
One of these sort of hip
It might even be Cushelle. I think it is Cushelle.
How often do you run out of toilet paper?
Never.
So she's really on it.
Yeah, we've got loads.
Do you think she's got a subscription then?
Possibly.
She's probably got one of these subscriptions.
Does she have a ring camera in your toilet to check when you're
on the basin?
Well, our toilet is full of toilet paper.
No,
well, you can see the bottom.
Horatio. That is actually too far for me. Because what I was saying was a ring camera showing the whole room, and then when the toilet paper's run out, she immediately gets in there. That's a bit funny, a little bit dirty.
All right.
But then
we can also just move on.
It's an absolute blessing. Can I show you this video?
No.
Trust me. Well,
has it got anything to do with toilet paper?
Yeah, it's completely to do with toilet paper.
Right.
It's a man stealing some.
Absolute. Right, for the people watching, it's someone's chasing after a man who's carrying... The police are chasing after a man carrying lots of toilet paper.
Don't give up. You better keep going. Don't give up, nigga. Take a shit. Take a shit. Look like he's stealing some shit. That's what it look like. He's still behind you. Let's see how this turned out.
I don't even...
Any predictions on how this gonna turn out? Hey, go back, take a shit.
Right, so he's skating.
Hey, Charlie. Can you pause? Can you pause? How the fuck did you know to just like? How do you know that video well enough to be like? I know the
My mate only just sent it, right, and it worked.
Guess serendipity.
So
yeah,
but so you're thinking about upgrading. What's an interesting fact? We'll do a fact corner. Is that in the local Tesco's, the cheapest toilet paper is scented? It's weird, isn't it?
That is.
What does it smell of?
I don't know.
Is it like bark?
There's often little things like that.
Yeah.
What are you adding that's making it cheaper?
Yeah. Why? But why? I guess scented. Surely scented's a benefit, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not.
Name me a thing you wouldn't want more.
Poopy. Poo.
No, no, Charlie. Enough. There's too much now. You can't do that.
To be fair, I know we're trying to stop the
Poopy.
I think that's permitted because that is really funny.
What
I know we're trying to stop talking about this. The shit says the toilet paper. Really?
Oh, you mean what would the toilet paper smell like?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I see.
That really makes me laugh. Right, okay. Well, that was for us. Now let's do some real podcasting. The storm. Where are we at with the storm?
Yeah, we need to do a storm watch. Well,
so I've been watching this storm more nervously than ever, and I felt I was quite reckless with how I spoke last.
I've never been. It's not the storm. It's the cold snap.
It's a cold snap.
I've never been more into a cold snap in my life. I think I'm googling the death toll every day. It's a hard thing to find.
I'm hoping people don't die, and you're hoping people do die.
Exactly. You definitely. Neither of us come off well, to be honest. Because you don't want people. You don't want people to die, so you don't have to eat a whole blueberry pie on next week's podcast. So the only way we could find a death toll was we did it on ChatGPT, and it came up with 3, didn't it?
3.
That's agreed.
Yeah,
3. So the death toll's on 3. I think the results will be next week.
But I will have to, if it does hit over, what was my number? I think 13, 12?
10.
It wasn't 10, it was 12.
It was 10.
I think I'd have to know more about the deaths because I think a lot of people are going to be dying who would be dead anyway.
Well,
and they're going to start fudging the numbers.
Are we fine with... we're not going to. You're not going to look into each individual death. We're going to accept the news that says this many people died of it. I'm not bothering going into different cases.
Okay.
We're accepting that because you're just going to... It's like a document dump. You're going to like flood my office with loads of documents. When the reality is you're eating the pie. So the results will be next week.
But people are dying every day anyway. I just don't... It's really hard to...
No, because your job isn't to go around and work out which deaths are from the cold snap. People will do that themselves. What do you mean people are dying every day? Yeah, but people get hit by buses and that still counts as being hit by a bus.
Yes. But then this is harder to know if it's from the cold snap.
It is harder to know.
If a 97-year-old dies from the cold snap, it's
Would
hard to know
they have died if it wasn't as cold? Is the only question they have to ask.
It's a good question. And
well, that's a question that they answer.
But
you don't need to know.
UK braces. I mean, it does seem pretty cold up there.
I think I'm 5 dead. No, that's US.
But I do feel confident that nothing's going to come of it, as happens every year.
I'm very confident you're going to have to eat a pie. I've already considered how big the pie is going to be. Because I don't want it to be horrible, but I want it to be funny.
But how long is this period of cold? How long is the cold snap? So is it all deaths over?
We can look that up. How long do you reckon the cold snap? I think...
This is what I need. If it's like a 3-week period.
You were reckless. You shook the hand. You didn't ask any of these questions before shaking the hand.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly within the next week. It's going to warm up after next week.
Obviously, I'm saying we should talk about cold snaps. It's important to know. I'm glad that I know the weather's going to be cold. I just think it's the tone of panic I don't like.
Hey,
when it's this happens every year at some point. Normally either in February, January, or December.
People die. People die from it.
I've not even heard about the cold snap.
You don't know about it?
No.
What do you mean?
You're at the Storm Dara.
This podcast.
Yeah, Storm Dara I know about. I don't know about
that was fucking 3 weeks ago.
So
4 weeks ago.
Cold snap.
Do you remember it? Do you remember?
I remember
You
that.
edited last week's as
You
well.
edited it.
Yeah, I thought
you
we were talking
listened
about
to
Storm
it
Dara.
twice.
I thought we were talking about Storm Dara.
No, we're talking about the cold snap.
We didn't say Storm Dara.
Storm Dara went and passed, and it proved my point. One person
That was
died.
your nan was washed away by Storm Dara.
Yeah, and she's fine now. She's getting stronger.
This is the cold snap. Do you remember? Yeah, you've watched it. You've listened twice.
I should know, clearly.
Yeah.
But
it was an easy one.
It's missed me.
Anyway, we'll keep you updated on the deaths.
there's a lot.
I think it's looking pretty positive.
Mm-hmm.
I have a gripe.
Yep.
A Christmas, New Year gripe. It is essentially when men exhale too loudly when they're going for a wee in the urinals.
Yep.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's a regular thing that happens.
I'll pass that immediately.
We're all fucking enjoying the week. We're all having a good time in there.
Yeah.
We don't need to physicalize it or verbalize it. When people go, whilst they go free, I'm standing next to them, it makes it sexual rather than natural.
Okay,
we all need to relieve ourselves.
Do I pass it, actually? Because I was thinking about it. I think maybe I was saying yes because it's the right observation. I don't know if it actually is a problem. I don't know. I might push it the other way. I don't know if it's...
Whoa.
Maybe...
Push what the other way?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a safe space in there, and you should be able to sigh and harm as much as you like.
Right now, it's excessive.
Yeah.
You can go... you can't go like more than once.
Go on.
There's like... I was stood with a guy the other day, and he was going...
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Excessive. Charlie's finding this hysterical in the corner.
I think 2 hands behind the head is too much for me. I don't like that.
For me, that's okay.
What?
Because you're doing a performance at that point. And that's like a circus act. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like a party trick. You're showing off.
It's dinner and a show.
Yeah. Something that I think should be brought back, which I would respect a lot more, is pants and trousers around the ankles.
Yeah, school style. School style.
Because I think if a grown man confidently walks into a pub toilet and does that, I think that's amazing. Like,
it's very liberated.
Are you like very confident? And I think if you're like a big fella, like you could just do that to sort of reassert how fucking tough
dominance,
you are.
Yeah. What are the pants doing? The pants down?
Pants all the way, both
all the way
down your ankles.
Both down
Is
that what you happen at school?
And also because you have you have a big heavy belt on, so you do it and it clangs. And it clangs
down, and you're like 6'4".
Now, what would be really alpha is then you waddle to the taps.
Yeah, and then when do you put your trousers up after you wash your hands?
As you're walking out.
What? Yeah.
So you wash your hands, you dry.
As you're walking out. Wow. Yeah.
So you dry, and then
knobs blowing in the breeze.
You pull up.
Or if it's one of those guys.
You pull up your pants and trousers like you might do your zipper up. So you're halfway back in the pub.
Like you might do.
You're doing the zipper as you're leaving the toilet.
Yeah.
You might be back in the pub outside the toilet by the time you're finishing. That's when you do it.
Yeah, okay.
At the same time.
Yeah. Well, hate crime, sexual assault comes into that if we're waddling out the toilet with pants down.
How's that a hate crime? Is that a hate crime?
Hate crime was the wrong term, so I actually then... What you see I very deftly did there was add a second phrase in that was the right one to disguise the wrong first phrase. Very smart, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hate crime, it could be against vaginas.
Yep.
Could
be.
Yeah.
Fashion police.
There's that. I've been thinking a lot about this. I don't know whether we discussed. I don't think we discussed on the podcast.
Go on.
But when there's that, like, I saw a clip. I don't know if you showed me or if we discussed it. That's like a real man, or like a real man doesn't wash his hands after he pisses. He washes his hands before because his dick is clean. So why are you washing your hand? Like if you're touching your dick, why? And then you're washing after. It implies you've got a dirty dick. Whereas if you wash my hands before, you're not trying to get shit on your dick.
I think you've actually got shit. The royal shit, not specific. Yeah.
I suppose. Hey, we're in the toilet.
Yeah, it's the royal.
We're in the toilet, so we could be confusing. Junk, dirt, muck,
junk,
dust.
Junk. Yeah. Now I think we've actually
junk on your junk.
Yeah. So I've always thought, because it's always drilled into you after you go for a piss, wash your hands. And I've always thought in my head, well, sometimes it doesn't feel like there's any extra dirt. What it actually
That's a horrible phrase you just said, Miguel.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes it feels like there isn't any extra dirt after touching his cock. Hey, I don't think this is much dirt on his last.
You know what I mean? I always thought like it feels like weird that this is like, I don't feel like it has been that unhygienic.
Yeah.
A lot of the time there's barely any difference, if any.
Yeah.
Right? But what it does do is it just consistently gets you to wash your hands. And now the older you get, the more you notice dirt, right? And I don't know if your hands get dirtier the older you are. Just in London, if I go on the tube, I have dirt under my fingernails after like 40 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I actually now, the reason why you should always wash your hands actually, is it's actually just, you go for a piss so much, it should just be a regular reminder.
You have misunderstood.
Go on.
So the question
Enlighten me, Drew.
No one's saying you shouldn't wash your hands.
Okay.
Which you see.
Right.
Yeah. The question is, do you do it before or after you go for the wee? Because if you're the argument being, my dick's clean. Why do so I'm going in the dirty outer world for a piss. So when I touch, I'm going to wash my hands before because
showering before bed or when you wake up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But kind of, yeah, a bit. So, but then we all do it after. But in a way, you should be like, well, no, my shit's clean, you know, my junk's clean. Why would I'm going to wash my hands so I don't get the outer world junk on my junk?
Yeah.
But the other way around is how we all do it.
I think there could
Is it inevitable you get a bit of wee on your hands? That is the question,
not inevitable,
boys. That's what we should discuss.
It will be there'll be a percentile you will. And I'd say it could be in the region of 30%.
30%
30% of the times you get it. So
depends on the urinal.
Yeah, exactly.
In a toilet,
I think if that's your rhythm where you're always washing before, you're going to be double washing.
But it's an interesting argument, though. Going, hold on, my junk's clean.
Philosophically, yes, but practically, I think you're going to be double washing more than you would otherwise.
Just in case you get a bit of the old piss on it.
Interesting. We had a good time. We've myth busted. Carry on washing your hands.
We've explored what we might not have necessarily learned.
It would be great if we did. Do you remember Mythbusters?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I want to bring those guys, those two autistic guys. I think Mythbusters needs to come back.
Yeah,
me and you and Beret.
What could we do?
Well, just like
different hats every time. What myths are there to be? Well, we could do. I don't know. What's a myth? What's a common myth?
We could do the Odyssey. We could bust it. We could actually. I don't know if that's one of a stupid idea we even come up with before. Like,
yeah, we have.
Have we actually come up with that? Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Mythbusters, but it's proving how like ancient Greek myths are not true.
Yeah, that's great. Like literal myths.
Well, I guess doing like the Noah's Ark, that'd be a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
So there'd be us explaining
The Simpsons.
Do you watch Graham
Never
Hancock?
happened.
Do you watch Graham Hancock?
Not on a regular basis.
Do you know who Graham Hancock is?
Yes.
So occasionally when me, Matt and Bibi have nothing to watch, we will put it on. It is a great... I'd recommend watching Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix because it's a pretty decent history program until the last 5 minutes.
Where he goes nuts.
So what he does is he builds it up and because he's the history community view him as a pseudo-historian, right? And he always talks about himself up against the establishment, right?
Yeah.
He spends the whole episode saying reasonable things. Also things that no one could deny.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, he goes, I think 20,000 years ago, probably aliens built it.
Yeah.
And then the credits roll.
And then he's waving as the credits go with like gentle music over it.
It's great. There's an amazing episode on Easter Island. You know Easter Island with the big heads and that.
Yes.
And it's considered to be the last place settled on Earth by humans, right? And everything he's talking about is about stories from people there.
The last place settled on Earth?
So the last place that humans properly settled.
What do you mean the last place?
Okay, you're struggling with last place.
Yeah, I am struggling with last place. Surely we can just settle somewhere else.
That was the last place that humans have built a civilization, I guess.
But we've built civilizations after that. So how is it the last place? I don't get last.
Where have we built civilizations after that?
I don't know. Fucking. When was Easter Islands? When was that happening?
1200s, 1300s.
We've not done anything since then.
Well, everything else has been settled. Yeah, but where else are you going to go?
I suppose
fucking Antarctica.
So. Yeah, or like
it's a tiny island.
Islands, no other islands that have been remote.
That's a crazy remote island.
All right, the last place.
I guess there's like Pitcairn Islands. And
in a way,
that's
like not that interesting.
If there's 5 people there,
do you know what I mean? Who cares about the last place?
That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying you're
bouncing off that.
Yeah. I've never really understood what the Easter Island is.
Is that the emoji? Is that what the emoji is?
There is a emoji of it, I believe.
What? How are you... That reminds me of the emoji.
I think there is an Easter Island emoji.
Yeah, I know, but that
should be the first thing.
That shouldn't be the first thing. It should be the other way around. Should be, isn't that the Easter Island head? Yeah, I see.
Anyway, so he spends the whole thing talking about reasonable stuff, and at the end, they apparently found a banana in at the bottom of a lake, which he said was like 10,000 years old. So he thinks that maybe aliens built these times.
It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. Did the gripe pass or not? Excessive sighing when in the urinal, I think.
Yeah, I think it does pass. I think you've convinced me, so that does pass.
We've got pink things.
Yeah.
We've got pink cables and pink new thing. Look, it's we got a new table. Mm-hmm. We should discuss.
We brought the sign back because people have been complaining. I did think the sign would be up earlier. We're still working on things. We're still shifting around. But yeah, I missed the sign as well, to be honest. I think it's kind of it's the orb in which our power comes from. I think
we orbit around it.
Sorry, I don't know what.
Perfect. Anyway. Perfectly reasonable thing to say.
Can we talk about Macron? So there's a lot of stuff that I feel like things happened a long time ago. Even if it was like this was like 10 years ago, which was
Profound.
talked about a lot at the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth just bringing stuff back up again.
Well, it depends what the stuff is, doesn't it?
Do you know about Macron's wife?
No, not really.
Have you not even? If I told you Macron's wife,
You don't have to embarrass me.
No,
you
but
could just move on.
You vaguely heard, right?
I know. Isn't there a big age gap?
Yeah, it's a huge age gap, right?
That's kind. Yeah.
It's the most French thing ever, right?
Yeah.
So, Macron's wife was his teacher.
Oh yeah,
at school.
Yeah.
So he was a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Right, and she was his 39-year-old.
What subject?
I don't know. Can you find some more stuff on this? Because I don't actually know that much about it. She was his 39-year-old teacher, married with 3 kids. Right,
15 and 39. Wowzers.
Right. It became such a clear issue that his parents moved school.
Oh,
made him move school.
Oh,
right?
So it wasn't like a rekindling of something later on in life.
I think it probably
started
was.
when.
No, I think it was.
Yeah, but were they?
But it started.
Were they getting busy when he was 15?
It's implied, yeah.
Were they flirting?
But then it feels like this could only really happen in France. She recalls being in awe of his exceptional intelligence, a way of thinking that I'd never seen before, and said that she arrived at La Provence. All the teachers.
In fairness, she rolled the dice, and she came up trumps.
Yeah.
Because
if
you're like, no, trust me. This 15-year-old is so fucking smart. He's going to become president, which makes him fit.
Which kind of implies like there are answers to questions that I could have said that maybe could have got me into bed with the teacher. Like there are. You can answer questions well enough.
I think it depends on the teacher.
I guess it does. But
I think it massively depends on the teacher.
There's an answer out there that you
For
never
her,
gave.
yeah. For her, not for every teacher.
But we don't know because this is how exceptional this kid is. Not everyone's the president of France. Not everyone's made of that sort of intellectual stock.
You're implying that Macron would every single teacher would fall in love with Macron because of his exceptional intelligence.
It needs the right to be the right teacher, but there's a lot of teachers who are sort of latent paedophiles who are waiting to be awoken by the right.
There's a lot of what percentage of teachers would you say
I
don't
know the stats on this.
Sleep pedo.
What? This is go on.
Sleepedo.
Sleeper pedo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sleepedo. That's pretty good.
Yep. Sleepedo. Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got.
But it is just funny, just being so good at your subject that your teacher's like.
That's why I want to know what subject.
I want to fuck that kid.
What happens if she was a PE teacher and she was just in awe of his
drama?
That is whoa. The young Macron was not a student in his future wife's French classes, but in her drama lessons.
Wow.
Okay, look. How is his high-class intelligence, his sexual intelligence way of thinking I've never seen before? I guess, it does come out in drama. It's not the obvious one.
The unlikely pair grew close when they co-authored a play. Miss Tongu told a friend years later. You know the day when we wrote the play together, I had a feeling I was working with Mozart.
It feels like Macron should have grown out of her. This bitch is writing a play with a 15-year-old. She sounds like a fucking idiot.
This is what's so interesting about it. The
fact that they're still together.
Yeah,
do you not?
It's quite amazing.
Do you not know what I mean? She seems like she's an idiot.
Yeah.
She's like, this 15-year-old is so good. I need to write a play with him.
Yeah.
You'd think that when Macron grows up, he's like, now he's not 15 anymore. Surely he'll overtake him.
I mean, it's interesting for quite a few reasons. Because obviously, you cannot get rid of me. I'll come back and marry you. Is commented as having said.
There you go.
But I think. It's recalling that his parents took it badly when they discovered the affair. Yeah, fair enough. Mr. Macron said, I had to fight in order to live both my private and my professional life as I wish. The pair eventually married in 2007 when he was 29 and she was 54 years old, becoming a very youthful stepfather to her 3 adult children.
How old are they? How old are they? They're probably his age.
They're probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're older. They're older.
We know how old Macron is. Don't type that in. But
how old's Macron?
He is 50. Oh.
You have to get it bang on right or you owe Charlie an apology.
I think he's about 49 years old.
Here we go. How old are Macron?
47.
Wrong.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Apologise.
Sorry, Charlie. It was pretty good, though. And she's now 71.
Right.
So it's interesting from a gender perspective, seeing as if it was the other way round, it would be kind of creepier, but weirdly, people would find it less weird. Right? Like if it was a 71-year-old guy with his 47-year-old wife.
That's more kind of a typical thing.
Yeah. But it's because you just don't see this.
Yeah.
It's such a rare thing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's something so French about it.
I suppose he probably wouldn't have been able to be president if he was a girl and this was with a male teacher, then that would be too controversial. So he wouldn't be able to even be president because he'll be grooming.
But you believe...
Was he groomed? It sounds...
No, but
he
this is what I
wasn't.
mean.
No, he loved her.
No, but this is the thing.
Yeah. But that's what, you know...
No, but this is
a lot of 15-year-olds
No, but this is a gender
their
divide,
teachers.
which is if a male student falls in love with an older teacher, fundamentally, though, yes, by the letter of the law, it's paedophilia, everyone secretly goes... Yeah, they're both having a great time out of this.
Yeah, but other way around.
Yeah, and it is different.
Well, yeah, it is.
Because men are disgusting and horny perverts, but, you know, if it's 15-year-olds, you're having the time of your life. He's going to be absolutely fine. A 15-year-old girl with a 39-year-old man, traumatized for life.
Yeah.
You just assume that they're
well,
never
unless
going to...
they're married, though, you know?
But what's amazing about this...
We have to
is
presume...
with these, it's like, if they didn't end up married, then she would be a creepy teacher.
Oh, exactly.
But the power of love, if you stay married...
She's rolled the dice, man, and she's come up trumps.
This is what I mean, is that I do think as an incident, it is creepy and wrong. The only way that it's not creepy and wrong is if you manage to stay married to
You
the
have
guy.
to get married.
Yeah, because that's just love powering through.
I think it's romantic.
It is romantic. It's
Really
very
romantic.
romantic.
Yeah.
It's like a poem.
And they're still together to this day, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. So he hasn't done anyone, but it is a bit weird though.
So he's a
Oh, no
stepfather.
shit.
He's a stepfather to people who are older than him.
And he's the president of France.
Is that unheard of?
But
Does that happen?
Because we were looking
No.
at this morning.
This isn't the only
I've never
case
heard
of
of
that
it.
in the world.
So this wouldn't be able. He wouldn't be able to be prime minister of the UK. I think this would be too much of a scandal. The reason why this is allowed is because if you look at all the presidents of France, there's so many sex scandals that this is sort of dwarfs this.
Sarkozy.
Yeah, it's so many that you can actually like.
Macron bald. What's Macron bald got to do with
Just
anything?
wanted to see if there's any pictures of him without any hair.
Why?
Don't know.
Why would there be? The guy's not bald.
Just he has quite. This photo made me feel like, hang on,
One of the pictures is Greg Wallace.
that
It isn't a million miles.
he
off
looks like he
Macron
could be
bald.
quite good there if he was bald. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Yeah.
So Robbie Williams' new not documentary. Is it biopic or biopic? I'm fed up.
Biopic.
But no, it's biopic.
It's biopic.
It's biopic.
It's biopic.
Okay, you're not going to remember this and you're going to say I'm lying. But I once said biopic in front of you and you laughed at me and said it's biopic.
I was wrong. It's biopic.
Type it. But
I think it's biopic.
I think it's a misnomer. I think it is biopic.
It's biopic. Because it's
How's
a biographical picture. Biopic.
No, hold on. Let's just
Biopic.
biopic.
Yeah. It's
Because
a biographical picture. Biopic.
but then there's like a biography.
Yeah.
But that's biography.
Biopic sounds like an operation, right? You have a biopic up your ass. That's when you have a camera up your ass. When you have a biopic.
I'm not confused between films and
It's
cameras.
a biopic. Let's not get caught.
Because
on
I'd
this.
like to. All I would do is I just want to know.
Yeah, but weirdly, I think the more interesting thing is that within the press tour of this film, finally we've settled it's biopic instead of biopic. Because I haven't seen people have brought up the question now more than ever before, and I don't know why it's only come in now that we're really discussing. It's biopic. So when I saw the trailer for Better Man, it was we should have talked about it when we saw the trailer like 4 weeks ago. Now everyone's talked about it, but yeah, it is.
Is Robbie
bizarre.
Williams is a chimpanzee?
Yeah.
I think it's a chimp.
Yeah.
Because that's his spirit animal. Anyway, it's a normal biopic, and it's him as a monkey essentially, and it looks absolutely.
It looks
awful.
terrible.
And then I remember seeing the trailer and being like, that's got, disaster written all over it. That looks awful.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking around bloody London and I'm seeing 5-star reviews.
Yeah, people love it.
Elle's just
One of the
seen
best
it.
biopics ever.
Elle's just seen it, said it's unbelievable.
Really?
And I just can't believe it. I don't
believe it.
I don't want to go because I don't want my mind to be changed. But there's no way in hell I can see this being a good film.
What I've really enjoyed is, so you've obviously seen Americans reacting to Robbie Williams over TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know who he is.
Who the heck
yeah,
is
fine.
is this guy?
You do have to empathize with Americans. It is amazing to think about because they're pushing it in America, which I think is mad.
Yeah.
They're using this. There was a trailer for Better Man before Wicked in all cinemas in America. Now, it's mad for us, knowing Robbie Williams is one of the famous pop stars in the UK. Imagine seeing a biopic about a pop star who you don't know.
Yeah.
being told this is the biggest pop star in the world, and it's also a monkey.
Yeah.
Like that, take that all in.
You don't have
it's so fucking mad.
You don't even have a story to go behind the scenes of.
Yeah.
You're just learning. It's just like learning about a bloke that you've just
because he might be the most famous person to not be famous in America, like most famous pop star to not be famous in America.
Guess so.
And
maybe
they're not
South pushing
America.
bloody Barlow, are they? Or take
from the UK, because I'm sure there's South American ones who don't cross
over. How much
over,
bigger
or
is
Indian.
is Robbie to Gary? You know,
I don't know. I did look up. Roy Williams is the 48th best-selling artist of all time. So he's not like top echelon.
Yeah, that's still a lot.
Still a lot. But when you look at other people on there, you're like, yeah, he's not getting into the top echelons.
Yeah, no, but still, that's something. He's still high up. I thought that.
But I just think,
it
must be such a weird feeling for Americans just to have this whole.
Yeah, I can't think
someone
of
you've never known before.
I can't think of an equivalent because I don't know them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it'd be like, I guess Tim McGraw is like a massive...
Oh, yeah, I was going to go...
He's a massive...
Tim McGraw or like Garth.
Yeah, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah. These huge American country stars who we...
It'll be a country star that would, come up with like that.
Well, if you saw a biopic about a country star and he was a kangaroo...
Yeah.
I guess that wouldn't be that weird because...
I think kangaroo would be weird.
Because to us, we'd view them as genre artists with a genre we don't know much about, right?
Yeah.
I think there's something different about pop star, and it's all about the fame and the success, and you can't go anywhere.
Popular music that you've never heard.
Who's this guy? He's a monkey.
Yeah. Why is he a monkey? Who is this guy? There's a lot of questions they must be having, which is fair enough.
Yeah, and it's flopped in America.
Well,
so that's been interesting. It's completely flopped in America.
That is hardly surprising.
Yeah, of course.
Is it?
Of course. But they pushed it. Part of the reason is why you're advertising it there. Surely you've accepted that it's not going to go.
I think... I think they've clearly made a good film, inexplicably, might I add.
Yeah,
but they're like, well, this could take America because of the quality of the film. Yeah. But in reality, you need to know who the fucking star is.
Yeah,
Charlie,
I back it. I think I like the fact that he's gone as a monkey because he's a very troubled guy. He used to get very nervous before he performed.
Yeah,
so it's like him being, and he kind of looks like a monkey. I think that's the point.
Sure.
So I guess
I don't think that's the point.
Well, it's
I don't think he walked in the room and the director was like, "You have to be a monkey. You look too much like a monkey for us to not see."
So why did you decide to do this extraordinary thing? You made him a monkey.
Well, just look like a monkey.
Because he looks a bit like a monkey.
Just look like a monkey, doesn't he? Yeah.
No, I think
that's the point.
It's part of the point.
Looks a bit like a monkey, doesn't it? Should we make him monkey? Let's make him monkey.
I just feel that tonally, it's like he's just a kind of outsider, bit of a monkey. Yeah.
Well, because monkeys are outsiders, right?
And it's a unique...
Famously, the outsider.
The outsider of the Jungle Kingdom, the monkey.
The biggest family animal in the jungle.
Amongst humankind, they are. If you had a monkey, it'd be a fucking outside. If you had a talking monkey...
Absolutely ridiculously flawed logic, but continue.
So
I guess if
we had a monkey around,
like if I was a monkey, it'd be really hard.
Of course, that's fucking true. If we had a snake in here, it wouldn't fit.
So in the schoolyard... So in the schoolyard, everyone's hanging out.
And there's just a monkey there.
The monkey's like, hey guys, what are you talking about? And everyone's like, oh, nothing.
I don't think this monkey really fits in here at this school for human children. It doesn't really fit in, that monkey, does it?
Yeah, but I think that's the
point. What
are
you talking about?
Basically,
what do you mean?
I think it's a very unique...
Monkeys are known for their familial ties.
Yes,
they
not
go around
amongst
the big
people.
roots. They're not loners. They're not.
They're literally known for the familial ties.
Most animals are lonely in the human world.
I think Charlie's point, if I may,
please.
I think he's saying that a monkey, if he could talk and was within a human world, probably wouldn't fit in very much.
Name an animal that doesn't apply to.
Well, he looks like a monkey. That's
a monkey is one of the closest to humans possible. They would clearly fit in more than if a snake was talking.
But no, hold on. The premise of this film is either disaster or it's brilliant.
Absolutely,
and they rolled the dice, and
100%.
They came out trumps, but they were lucky. I don't want them thinking that they weren't lucky.
I think it's genius. I genuinely think it's quite a genius.
You haven't seen the film, have you? No. Because what we're saying is the trailer looks shit, but it might be good. We'll see. What you're saying is it's amazing.
It's genius.
You have to go and get yourself down to the cinema now. Yeah, I mean, we should go and see it.
Yeah. What is it? All three of us?
Yeah, we could do it, Ali.
I can come this time.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get Charlie involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff.
I don't want to see it, but I'm going to. Like, I'm not excited to see it.
Well, I am.
It's like Nosferatu and Better Man. I watched Nosferatu and and I don't want to see this.
You can't do more than one.
But I'm going to. I guess what's unique about Better Man is it's the first time they've done it where someone's an animal and everyone's pretending he's not, and it's just a symbolic thing. Now, could we do that with AI to other films? What would be the best films to do that to? What would be the worst films to do that to? Well, off the top of your head, obviously you've got Schindler's List, where you have, Liam Neeson's character is a kangaroo.
What other films could you change people into an animal for?
Think of it. Say the first film that comes to your head.
The Hangover.
Jaws.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Jaws.
Well, if you turn the sheriff into a shark as well? That's a great film.
And everyone's pretending he's not
Everyone pretending he's not a shark. And they're like, we've got a real shark problem on this beach. It's like, you can talk, you're a fucking shark. Why don't you leave the beach, mate?
What makes that such a tense film is it's more like, it's sort of like
you're waiting to see the shark.
No. It feels like it's sort of like a sleeper agent, not a sleeper, a double agent. Yeah. It's more like all these people are desperate to catch sharks. Little do they know,
I'm a shark.
Right in their midst.
It's a shark.
It's a shark. Yeah, it's like having a Russian spy.
Look, it doesn't make much sense when we dive into the actual story.
I think Wicked wouldn't work because there's loads of monkeys in it.
There's too many monkeys in it for Wicked.
Yeah. Are you just looking at films? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you just type in films?
Well, IMDb top 100.
Because it would be really interesting. So like Goodfellas, right?
Yeah.
Not the main character, De Niro, who's like sort of the secondary
It just wouldn't
character.
work.
De Niro is a monkey.
Of course, it would be awful.
But then no one talks about it. Because it's such a bold, creative choice.
It is.
Yeah. But just having a side character.
It has to be the main character.
Yeah, it has to be.
It can't be a side character. Because the question is, it's no longer a creative decision if it's a side character. It's like, was that guy a monkey?
Well, what could be great, because I think, it would be too distracting, is if you have an extra as a monkey.
Yeah. Just one who's like a waiter.
Yeah,
who serves them.
You might serve the table behind them.
Yeah, right. Not even the main.
So you're like, and it's a bit out of. Is that a fucking?
Is that a monkey? Serving that? Yeah. This segment's called. Is he really called that?
Right.
This one?
So let's watch this. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Dr. Gay Hitler of Circleville, Ohio, son of George Washington Hitler, and he was named this at the worst possible time in human history. Right. Gay Hitler was born in 1882, before the word gay meant homosexual person. In fact, at the time, it just meant happy or carefree. But by the late teens, early 20s, it was starting to take on what it means today. It wasn't officially codified until 1951 in the Oxford English Dictionary. But this would be the least of his worries. The late 30s, early 40s come around, and this guy is apparently terrible at spelling, among many other things. But he spelled his grandfather's last name wrong, so it shouldn't have been Hitler, it should have been Heidler, and so he ruined the name for good old Gay. Gay Hitler was still a practicing dentist until 1946, a year after the war ended, and apparently the town loved his family so much they named streets and a park after him. So he was born Happy German surname, and it became Sexuality He Wasn't, Evil Dictator.
So that's going in funny name corner. Obviously, last week I don't like him either. But last week we had John Pooh Beresford.
Yeah,
look, he's already cracking up. It's a great John Pooh Beresford. Obviously,
he anticipated.
It's a great name.
Well.
Dr. Gay Hitler I really like because it's one of those ones because John Pooh Beresford, as we checked, Pooh meant poo back then. Right?
It did.
But Dr. Gay Hitler is one of those sort of slow reveals where there's not much you can do about it, and then slowly people take away the meaning of your name. It is like Andrew starts meaning bent, right?
Yep.
People just say Andrew, right? That just comes out of no one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then a genocidal, dictator called Kerwin. Yeah, called Nigel Kerwin.
Nigel
goes on a killing spree.
Yeah.
It is just funny getting caught up there.
Can't do anything about it.
Dr. Gay Hitler is one of the funniest names, to be fair. To the lad. There's not much we can add to it because it's Dr. Gay Hitler, but... Did
he keep the name of it? So he didn't change his name
for 2 years.
He died a year after World War II. Coincidence?
What do you think? He killed himself, or do you think?
I don't know what happened. Is that not weird?
Yeah.
Well, right after.
Did he die 2 years after?
No, 1946 he died.
He said 1947. He still was practicing. I don't know. Can we just? Do you want to find out more about Dr. Gay Hitler? I think we can do one funny name an episode.
Yeah.
I personally think that Pooh Beresford wins just because Gay Hitler is it's almost...
It's too serious. It doesn't... Yeah. The Pooh Beresford has a charm to it. There's why are you calling... Pooh Beresford is fun is because we have to... And when we looked at the other one, when it was the guy who was trying to call himself the N-word, or Master N-word. But it's funny when someone makes a choice.
Yeah.
This guy, Gay Hitler was a perfectly acceptable name at one point, and one guy ruined it for everyone.
But he's Dr. Gay Hitler as well.
The fact that he's a dentist does make it funnier. Who's your dentist? It's Dr. Gay Hitler.
His dad.
Who does your root canals? Oh, he just lives down the road. Dr. Gay Hitler.
It's good stuff.
His dad was called George Washington Hitler.
Now that's another interesting thing. So his middle name was Washington. Was that probably a done thing in the US with people, we could call ourselves... I'm going to call my boy Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer Kerwin.
Gustav Cohen's
Gustav Cohen's good.
That's a good name.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. Gay Hitler, Dr. Gay Hitler.
Yeah.
George Gay. Oh, he's got kids. George Gay Hitler. Well, we don't talk about the kids.
What do you mean, George Gay? Surely he's changed his name.
George Gay Hitler was alive until 1993. Marianne Ada Hitler.
They must have changed their names.
That's pretty close to
See
Ava.
if George Gay Hitler had any kids. See if George Gay.
Why can we find out so much about this family? That's disconcerting.
Right. When George Gay... Why is there bios? I don't know. Normal people have bios.
Scroll up. Did he do anything? Brief life history of George Gay Hitler. When George Gay Hitler was born on the 27th of September 1907 in Circleville, Pickaway, Ohio, United States, his father, Dr. Gay Ludwig Hitler, was 25 and his mother, Mabel, was 24. He married Janet Slemons. This is a great instance where you should take the woman's name. On the 19th of September 1936. They were the parents of at least one daughter. He immigrated to New York City, New York, whatever. And then he died. No,
kids.
Doesn't suggest he changed his name. At all.
Children, stillborn Hitler. Stillborn Hitler. Stillborn?
No.
Stillborn?
No.
No, they're called stillborn.
No.
Look. Back where you were.
Where?
Go on George Gay Hitler. Go on George Gay Hitler.
We're on George Gay. No.
Yeah, go down. Children.
Where?
Stillborn Hitler.
No, it was a stillborn child.
Oh.
That is in fairness to you, that is very misleading.
Change the font for stillborn. Don't do it.
Children one,
Debold it.
stillborn Hitler. That is fucking wild from ancestors.familysearch.org.
Can we write
Stillborn Hitler
Can
has,
we write a
has a profile. Wait, can we type in our names?
Stillborn Hitler was alive for like what?
You can't call them. Their name doesn't become stillborn when they die. This is fucking bleak.
But maybe they do in records. When you're keeping records, probably.
Maybe,
It
yeah.
probably is just stillborn, right?
She died on the 21st of July 1940 in Columbus, Ohio. Why is that hilarious? Charlie.
Stillborn Hitler wasn't alive ever, really.
Can we stay on this site because everyone seems to have a bio? Scroll. Is there a search option? Type in Andrew Kerwin.
Can we dedicate this episode to stillborn Hitler?
Yeah, rest in peace, stillborn Hitler. Andrew Kerwin hairdresser is the also thing that comes up in Charlie's thing. Not sure what's going on there.
Were you trying to find out
Who cuts his hair?
No, because we talk about your hairdresser all the time, and I bet you want to know who cuts your hair.
I think we were talking about whether there are any pictures.
But I can imagine you just thinking that it would come up.
I need to glow up.
Right.
Andrew Kerwin.
Well, there's loads of Kerwins, right?
Yeah. Can we?
You're not going to find.
Wait, go up.
Are you thinking that there's going to be one on you?
Birth year. Do birth year 1997. Let's see. I mean, if there's stillborn Hitler, why wouldn't there be an Andrew Kerwin? There's not an Andrew Kerwin. Try Horatio Gould.
Yeah. Probably.
Why is there genealogical
there's no
records?
other Horatio Gould, so this probably should be. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. So what? Maybe the Hitlers all logged their names into ancestry.com.
Well,
maybe because of the famous name.
It's certainly noteworthy.
Yeah.
But so this guy, are there Hitlers today? There's Hitlers today.
I think the names died out.
Yeah.
Right. Can you go on?
Well, we did.
I think we
know exactly where it died.
Yeah.
out.
Well, do you want to?
We're stillborn Hitler.
No, we talked about Hitler's last living relative. Actual. Hitler.
I don't think so.
We're not. Type in Hitler's last living relative. I think we have talked about this, but it's worth talking about again.
That's
So Hitler's last known living relative did get done for paedophilia, but apparently all of Hitler's kids or relatives agreed not to have kids to sort of end the Hitler.
That's bleak, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think it's hard to kind of meet someone.
What?
If your dad's Hitler, I imagine it's hard to. Well, probably not. People in Charles Manson did.
Yeah, he would have still have his supporters after the war. In Germany, it's not all over.
But
it's a good argument for nature, isn't it?
Now this person
Jesus.
looks evil, obviously, but there you can see Hitler in there, can't you?
Yeah,
You could see
there's
that
some charisma, isn't there?
Because you think so.
What's he mouthing off about?
Yeah, fucking anything.
The age of consent should be lowered to 2.
It's the age of consent.
I forgot to do German accent again. What's his hair tattoo doing?
I'm innocent, he insisted.
Is that like
now?
Look at the hair.
What is fair to him is he could easily be a target where people don't give him the benefit of the doubt because his granddad's Hitler.
If a child has been diddled and there's a Hitler in the area, I know whose door I'm knocking on.
Hitler's door.
Hitler's door.
What are you saying to him?
I'm saying, did you molest that child? And he's going, 9. And then there'll be a court process and the right outcome would occur.
Yeah. Well, I do think it.
In fairness,
if there's a jury, people are going to vote against him because
he says
he's old Hitler's boy.
The name is like a cross to bear, and I wish that on nobody. He said,
change it then.
Yeah, why aren't you changing?
Well, at least
the
you're not
fucking
stillborn
surname?
Hitler. You know, that's all I can say.
That's a bleak way to end the podcast.
You know, you probably love stillborn Hitler.
Oh, Jesus! See you on the Patreon.
See you on the Patreon. Bye.